and only king. Who's that? The king with you?
Yes, sir.
What's up, little man? How you doing?
Good.
I got a picture of you on my phone somewhere when you were like this big and your daddy was holding you up. Man, unbelievable. How you doing, little man? You good?
Yes.
What are you doing? How's is school over?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you're happy now. What are you doing this summer?
Probably hanging out with my family.
Nice, man. You playing any sports yet?
Football.
Oh, of course. You got to follow in Dad's footsteps, of course, man. Well, it's good seeing you, man. You stay out of trouble, all right?
Okay.
All right, buddy. KJ, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Oh, I'm so happy for you, man. I cannot tell you. You have been a guy that I followed your career, even going back to high school, and to be able to see, I mean, you're getting an opportunity now to be able to coach with the Chargers. I mean, just take us through anybody that doesn't know about the process, know about the program. Let everybody know what this means for you to be able to go back with a team that, they gave you a lot of love when you try to break camp with those guys. It seemed like there was a really good relationship with them.
Man, it's an unbelievable opportunity, man. I think, like I said, God works in mysterious ways. So I always like to give honor to God first and foremost, man, because, without God, I wouldn't be able to have these opportunities that I have. And I always tell people, man, it's not me. It's just favor over my life, man, believing in something that's bigger than me. But I don't think this is a coincidence, man. Like I said, God works in mysterious ways. To be able to play for an organization that a guy like Jaleel Adai, who's from the area that, I grew up in and things of that nature, who got a chance to play there. And then they came back and got another Tampa kid who's an undrafted free agent kid, and took a chance on him and gave me a chance. And now being able to come here and go there and coach, man, I think, things align, and to be under Coach Harbaugh and Stephen Cleanscale, who offered me my first scholarship at Cincinnati when I was coming out of high school. Like, I don't think things are a coincidence. So, I'm blessed and highly favored, man. And I just continue to give all honor to God, man.
So you were selected for the Bill Walsh Diversity Fellowship with the Los Angeles Chargers, which is amazing. What does this mean for you? Is this something that is a training camp position? Is this something for the entire season? Like, tell us. And it's going to be with the defensive backs, positions you know all too well. So what does this entail? What do they expect from you? What are you going to be doing?
Pretty much it's like an interview, man. You expect for me to come in and work hard. Of course, potentially walking away, probably with a year-long internship. But just the experience is something that I'm looking forward to. Getting a chance to ask questions, getting a chance to be under Coach Harbaugh and Coach Mentor and Coach Cleanscale and a lot of the guys, being back with the guys, Derwin James and those guys and stuff like that, man. It's really just getting the opportunity to just show that I'm willing to work. Yes, I'm a former player, but I'm willing to put in the work as a coach. I'm not a player anymore. I'm a coach, and I'm trying to lead young men in the right direction. So, potentially, signing to a year-long internship is the goal. But like I said, God works in mysterious ways, so we never know what He got planned for me, man.
That's awesome, man. That's so great. And it just shows you it's not what you know in this world, it's who you know. And you don't get opportunities like this, KJ, if you didn't leave a great impression on people along the way.
Right.
You just never know, man. I mean, even the times we talk, like we did interviews, and this is when I was doing interviews weekly over there. And you just think of some of the guys like Mitchell Wilcox and seeing what he's been able to do, right? And Jordan McLeod and seeing where he went, and Bentley Sanders and just playing the CFL. Like, just it's so wild how like we're all in our bubble over at South Florida, and then just 4 or 5 years later, like everybody goes off and they're doing Mitch playing with the Bengals. He's doing it right. It's like it's been crazy to be able to see like how many times like you cross paths with these guys, and then they all go their different way. But like the good people always, like the cream always rises to the top. Don't you agree with that?
Sir. I definitely agree with that, man. I think I was in church the other day, man, and it's about being your authentic self. You got to be your authentic self. And you got to trust the process. You got to sacrifice some things in order to get to where you got to get to. I think that, a lot of people, the regular person isn't willing to sacrifice things and look at things 10 years down the line. Right. Everybody wants everything to be microwave. And I'm not living in a microwave where I never will, never will be, never will teach my kids to live like that. So, I think that, you got to go through a process. Everybody has to go through something, man, to get to where they want to get to.
Yeah, no doubt. And people ask me about that too, of like, where my steps in the process and everything. I said, man, there's a lot of things that you can't control. But one thing you can control is how hard you work every single day. Don't let anybody challenge your work ethic. And you can show up early, you can stay late, you can treat people well, you can say please, you can say thank you, you can leave the place better than when you got there. Like, those are the things that you can control. And when you take care of that, a lot of other things take care of itself. I got to ask you personally, you got hitched too you got married over the last couple of months, man. Look at you, sir. Man. Like, I mean, I was so happy, man.
Another thing, man, that I say, and shout out to my sweetheart, man, because I told her I was going to shout her out on here, man. Another thing that I would say, man, is you got to have everybody needs somebody in life. And that somebody that I needed is my wife. Without her, man, without God putting her in my life, I don't know where I would be. So, I'm extremely thankful, and I'm actually thankful, man, that I get to share life with her. I get to go on this journey with her, have, my kids with her, man. It's beautiful. And not too many people can say they married their high school sweetheart. We've been together for 11 years. And I'm looking forward to this long journey of marriage, man, and spending the rest of my life with her. So love you, baby girl. Shout out to you.
And I've known this is something and I know how important your faith is to you and, your family, everything. I mean, to be able to make that decision that you made to come back home to play for USF, but just, again, like, seeing you pick up a little man and just to see how old he is now, it's so crazy for me to be able to see him. But just how important has family been in? I know your family's important to you. I think that's obviously an easy thing to say. But as far as the priority of what your family is in your life, KJ, into how you make the decisions to make your life better.
Man, honestly, man, like I said, if God is at the forefront of your life, everything else falls into place after that. Because God is love, and what you value will show you, will bring things around you, will attract you to the things that you want to be attracted to. And so with my family, it goes back to say with my family, man, I value family so much because I know, what it feels like to not feel like you don't have anybody, or what it feels like to feel like you're back in the corner. And that I don't want my kids to feel that way. I want my wife to always know that I'll be here for her. But it's about integrity, man. Standing for something and not falling for anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I live by, man. That's what I go by, man. And again, you hit it right on the head, man. Coming back to South Florida, for my son King and for my long time, now my wife Kiana. It's bittersweet to see, man. Because back then, I was just thinking about getting home. And look at where it turned. I met guys like you, Jane Castor, and, became, a public figure in my community, and not knowing that it would lead me to this point. I always said I didn't want to coach. And
you got a plan, and then the good Lord says, yeah, okay, that's your plan, buddy.
Hey, lean not into your own understanding, man. So, I just, like I said, following God's plan, man, and I want to be, like I said before, man, in a generation where marriage is broken. I want to stand in that gap, man, to show that it can be done and it will be done the right and correct way. So, man, I don't want to precede, man.
It's I think it's important, man. And I have a lot, I grew up in a very, multicultural, where I grew up, 16 white kids out of 1,600 in my high school, right? My best friend was Jamaican. My other one was from the Bahamas. My other best friend was Puerto Rican. I was the lone gringo of the whole group. And, my best friend, Kellen, and he would always tell me, he goes, he was one of 6 brothers, and, his mom and dad got divorced, and he would always tell me, I really want to get married. I really wanted the Black household. It's important to me. And, unfortunately he never got married, but it was always in his mind, like, I got to make sure when I have my kid. And it was just something that we talked about at a young age. And I just thought it was very mature. And, I always got that same sense for you. And I think that's why we've gotten so close over the years, is because you remind me of my friends like Kellen and Runt and guys that I grew up with, that it was just like, it was important to them. It was like keeping that household together, where even if I don't stay with the mom, but like, we're going to do, it was just important, to try to break that vicious cycle, and, I've always just been such an admirer that was such a priority to you so early on in your life, because you have a lot of decisions to make when you're a college kid, and you looked at it. And I remember being there and with Coach Straw and not knowing if you were going to play that first game, and just, hearing about the story of you coming back and going like, man, this kid, like, he's far more mature than people that are twice his age. And it's funny that you say like you didn't want to get into coaching, because like the Lord looks at you and there's like, you have an ability to impact other people's lives, right?
Indeed.
And I my favorite quote, and I always butcher it, it's from Jackie Robinson, and it's, a life is only as important as how it impacts and affects other people. And I just like, it's amazing because you've always talked about your future, and I've always kind of shied away talking about my future because I'm always like, live one day at a time. You never know what's going to happen. And I looked at it as like in a graceful way of like not trying to put the cart before the hearse, not trying to act like, I know better. But there's also something of like, you do want to plan for the future, and you do want to put yourself, and you've always, done that at a young age, which is, it doesn't happen, bro. It doesn't. And again, I'm trying to, in myself, trying to change that about myself, to plan a little bit more for the future and to be cognizant of the decisions I make. And, chances are I'm not going to get hit by a bus tomorrow. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be grateful for what I have, but it's also like, you've always had that mindset. And it's always been inspiring to me. And that's why I think for anybody that's watching the show today, you can learn from anybody at any time of your life. I'm damn near twice KJ's age, even though the grays, I do a good job of keeping the grays down.
Boy, you still look good, my boy.
Yes, I appreciate you, my man. But I think the kind of stuff like that is important. And you said about being in the community, like we get around guys like Titus, right? Titus O'Neil's such a great example, okay? Like he's like a big brother to both of us, of like he's all around the world, but if we text him or we call him, or there's an event to be at, or he wants us to be a part of an event, like he'll reach out to us. I mean, we speak about family a lot, but I mean, this community has done such a great job, I think, in helping raise you, right? To like get you to this level.
Man, listen, I'll tell anybody this, man. Your community could literally help you live.
Yeah.
And this is what I live by. I feel like you're nothing without your community. The people are what make a city. The people are what makes a neighborhood. It's the people. People are what makes family. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, man, it's all about how you treat people. It's all about, what impact you leave on someone's life. You know what I mean? And so I love my community, and I love where I grew up. I love the Tampa Bay area because it raised me into being who I am. I had the opportunity to stay in the hood. I had the opportunity to stay in the suburbs. You know what I mean? So I had the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? So I can understand the struggle, but then again, I can understand the middle class. You know what I mean? So I understand what it's like being on both ends. It's not like your community, man, because we all we got. It's black, white, we all we got, dog. Black, white, purple. What, it don't matter. It's all we got. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. And I'm proud of you, man. I just want to let you know that I'm extremely proud of you, and I'm so glad that I had a chance, that God gave me the chance to come back home and meet you, man, because like I said, man, it's the people that you meet. That's what life's about. Life is about people.
You got that right, man.
Be life. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Yeah, you're right. Because you mentioned Mayor Castor a lot, and Titus O'Neil, and like we meet Rob Higgins over the years, and you go to the sneaker soiree every year, and it's just like it's the best of the best. Yes, it's not, we're not just saying like the best of the best athletes, like it's the best of the best people, right? And when you go to that, like when we saw each other, like how many people you see after the event is done going up and hugging people and dapping people up and just like showing bro, there's so much love in that building wherever the event is held. I mean, it really is the highlight of our community when it comes to sports, even beyond sports. I mean, it's pretty wild. I'm lucky I'm so fortunate and so grateful every time we go there.
Yes, indeed, man. And shout out to Rob Higgins, man.
He's the best, man. Tampa Bay Sports Commission. All right, so when do you leave for LA or whenever?
I leave actually this Sunday.
Oh man.
Out of here. Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. Well, KJ, you know how proud I am of you. Our entire city is behind you. Of course, we'll stay in touch for sure. And again, meet as many people as you can humanly possible. Shake hands, kiss babies, say hi to the janitors and everybody around there. And you just never know what door you open and what that's going to lead to. So again, proud of you. Thank you so much for your time today. And we'll talk soon, man. Thank you.
Hey, appreciate you, big bro. God bless you, man.
Same to you, man. Give my love to the family, all right?
I will.
Get a baseball glove in that kid's hand too. Get him a hockey stick too, man. We need a D.
Shout out to Ryan too, man. Shout out to my dog Ryan, man, with the Tampa Bay Rays, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. We gotta get him all over, man. We gotta get the new Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders for the King for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For sure. Definitely that.
All right, my man. Talk soon. See you. Thanks.
All right, man. Yes, sir.
All right.